Hey everyone, and let me just tell you, if you're looking to level up your investment game, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving headfirst into the world of ETFs, specifically Information Technology ETFs. Now, you might be thinking, what on earth is an ETF? Don't worry, I've got you covered. We'll break down exactly what ETFs are, why they're like the cheat codes of the investing world, and why focusing on the tech sector specifically can be a game changer for your portfolio. But it doesn't stop there. We're going deep today, folks. We're talking about the top 5 IT ETFs that should be on your radar right now. And trust me, these aren't just random picks. We're talking about the ETFs that could potentially change the game for you, just like they have for countless other investors. Alright, let's kick things off with a real heavy hitter in the ETF ring, the Vanguard Information Technology ETF, or VGT for those of you who like to keep it short and sweet. Now Vanguard, they're like the OGs of low-cost investing, and their VGT ETF, it's a prime example of why they're so well respected. See, VGT aims to do one thing really, really well: track the performance of the MSCI US Investable Market Information Technology 25/50th Index. Now that might sound like a mouthful, but what it means is that this ETF gives you a piece of the action of a whole bunch of US tech companies. We're talking big names, small names, the up-and-comers. It's like a tech all-star team, all in one ETF. Now, diversification is key in the investing world, right? You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. And that's where VGT shines. It's like having a safety net for your tech investments. Instead of betting on just one or two companies, you're spreading your risk across the entire tech landscape. It's a smoother ride and potentially less stressful, which is always a good thing. Think of it like this. The tech sector is like a rocket ship, right? It's been on an upward trajectory for years, and with VGT you get a ticket to ride that rocket ship. You're not just investing in individual companies, you're investing in the future of technology itself. And let's be real, the future of technology? That's a pretty good place to be. But it's not just about the potential for high returns. VGT is known for its low expense ratio. That means less money going towards fees and more money staying right in your pocket where it belongs. And trust me, in the world of investing, every penny counts. So, who's VGT a good fit for? I'd say anyone who's looking for a simple, straightforward way to get exposure to the tech sector. It's like the ultimate set-it-and-forget-it investment. You buy in, you let the ETF do its thing, and you potentially reap the rewards down the line. But hey, don't just take my word for it. Do your own research, talk to a financial advisor, and see if VGT aligns with your investment goals. Remember, this is your financial future we're talking about here. Alright, moving right along to our next contender, the Technology Select Sector Spider Fund, better known as XLK. Now, if VGT is like the well-rounded team player, XLK is the star quarterback. It's all about those big household names, the companies that are basically synonymous with technology itself. XLK tracks the Technology Select Sector Index, which is basically a who's who of tech giants. We're talking Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, the companies that are constantly innovating and pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Now, some people might say, Graham, isn't that a bit risky, putting so much emphasis on just a handful of companies? And you know what? They're not entirely wrong. XLK is definitely a more concentrated bet than VGT. But here's the thing, these tech giants, they're not just sitting on their laurels. They're constantly evolving, adapting, and finding new ways to dominate their respective markets. Think about it. Apple isn't just a phone company anymore, they're a lifestyle brand. Microsoft isn't just about Windows, they're a cloud computing powerhouse. And Nvidia, they're the driving force behind the gaming industry and the metaverse. So, while XLK might be a bit more volatile than VGT, it also has the potential for explosive growth. These are the companies that are shaping the future, and if you believe in their long-term vision, XLK could be a great way to capitalize on their success. But here's the thing about XLK, it's not for the faint of heart. The tech sector can be volatile, and when these big companies sneeze, the whole market can catch a cold. So you've got to be prepared for some ups and downs along the way. But if you're looking for an ETF that's packed with potential, XLK is definitely worth considering. Just make sure you're comfortable with the risks involved and that it aligns with your overall investment strategy. Remember, investing is a marathon, not a sprint. It's about finding the right investments for you and your financial goals. Alright, let's shift gears a bit and talk about the iShares US Technology ETF, or IYW. Now, if VGT is about broad exposure and XLK is about betting on the big players, IYW is all about finding those hidden gems, those future tech titans that are just waiting to explode. See, IYW focuses specifically on large-cap technology companies, but it digs a little deeper than XLK. It's looking for companies that are at the forefront of innovation, the ones that are developing the technologies that are going to shape the world in the years to come. We're talking about companies working on artificial intelligence, cloud computing, cybersecurity, the stuff that's going to revolutionize the way we live, work, and interact with the world around us. Now, IYW is definitely a more targeted approach than VGT or XLK. It's not about tracking a broad index, it's about actively seeking out companies with high growth potential. And that means it comes with its own set of risks and rewards. On the one hand, IYW has the potential to outperform the broader tech sector if it picks the right companies. But on the other hand, it's also more susceptible to losses if those companies don't live up to their potential. So, who's IYW a good fit for? I'd say it's a good option for investors who are a little more comfortable with risk and who are looking for exposure to the cutting edge of the tech industry. It's like investing in the future, and while the future is never certain, it's definitely where the excitement is. Alright, now it's time to talk about a sector that's been making headlines lately, semiconductors. These tiny chips are the brains behind pretty much every electronic device we use, from our smartphones to our cars to our refrigerators. And the iShares Semiconductor ETF, or SOXX, is your ticket to ride the semiconductor wave. SOXX invests in companies that design, manufacture, and distribute semiconductors. We're talking about companies like Intel, Taiwan Semiconductor, and ASML, the companies that are literally building the future of technology one chip at a time. Now, the semiconductor industry is notoriously cyclical. It goes through periods of boom and bust, driven by factors like global demand, technological advancements, and even geopolitical tensions. But here's the thing. The long-term trend for semiconductors is clear. Demand is only going up. Think about it. Everything is becoming smarter and more connected. We're talking about the Internet of Things, self-driving cars, artificial intelligence, all of which require massive amounts of processing power. And that processing power, it all starts with semiconductors. So, while SOXX might be a bit more volatile than some of the other ETFs we've talked about, it also has the potential for significant growth. If you believe that the world is only going to become more reliant on semiconductors, then SOXX is definitely worth considering. Just remember, like with any investment, it's important to do your research, understand the risks involved, and make sure it aligns with your overall investment strategy. Alright, last but not least, let's talk about an ETF that's been generating a lot of buzz lately. The ARK Next Generation Internet ETF, better known as RKW. Now, ARKW is a bit different from the other ETFs we've talked about. It's not about tracking a broad index or focusing on a specific sector. ARKW is all about disruption. Managed by the one and only Cathie Wood, ARKW invests in companies that are at the forefront of disruptive innovation. We're talking about companies involved in areas like artificial intelligence, cloud computing, genomics, and blockchain technology. Now, Cathie Wood is known for her bold bets and her long-term investment horizon. She's not afraid to invest in companies that others might consider too risky or speculative, and that's reflected in RKW's portfolio. This ETF is not for the faint of heart. It's volatile, it's concentrated, and it's focused on companies that are still in the early stages of their growth. But for investors who believe in the power of disruptive innovation, RKW offers the potential for massive returns. Just remember, this is a high-risk, high-reward investment. It's not for everyone. But if you're looking for an ETF that's on the cutting edge of technology and you're comfortable with the risks involved, ARKW is definitely worth checking out. So there you have it, folks, a rundown of 5 incredible IT ETFs that could supercharge your portfolio. Remember, these are just a starting point. Always do your own research, talk to a financial advisor, and make sure any investment aligns with your personal financial goals. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future deep dives into the world of investing. And hey, let me know in the comments which IT ETF you're most excited about. Until next time, keep learning, keep investing, and keep building that financial freedom.